Well, hey guys, and welcome to Hold My Beer. I'm a Follow Jesus. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you like this content, please smash the like button, subscribe, and then share this with whoever God puts on your heart. So I guess I'm just going to dive right into it. Before I was a Christian, I would try to find out where somebody's boundary was on something, so that I knew how close I could get before crossing the boundary. I might even walk the line, but how can I push it so far as to not cross it, right? How has this changed since following Jesus? I try not to focus on, is this a sin? Is that a sin? What can I do? What can I not do? How far can I take this before it becomes sinful? I just look at Jesus and I want to be more like him, which automatically will take me further away from sinning, just naturally, right? So that's my new, I guess, goal or new way of thinking of it is, how can I be more like Jesus in this moment? What would he have done in this moment? So I just got done listening to a really great podcast from Live Free. I love them. I love them, and I love how they explain things, so I'm gonna steal a little bit from them, okay? So I just listened to their podcast about alcohol, tattoos, and smoking weed. It's really good. Check it out. And I found that I already kind of agreed with everything they said before they even said it, right? So the way we should make decisions in our lives, any decision, what does the Bible say about it? Do I have any personal convictions of this? How does it affect other Christians in my life and other non-Christians in my life? And how does this affect my spiritual life? So this is the part that I'm stealing from them, right? So the Bible calls us to be sober-minded. And one of the things that's listed in the fruit of the Spirit is self-control. If I am slamming beer after beer after beer, Jack and Coke, throwing those back, am I staying sober-minded? No. Am I showing self-control? Do I have self-control? Nope. So that's where I follow what Jesus says. The Bible also talks about how God takes care of the land, right? He takes care of the land so that we can have grain to make our food and grapes to make our wine. Now I can't remember the verse, but it does talk about how wine brings gladness to the heart of God and to the heart of men. Wine is not bad. However, if you start becoming dependent on it, you don't know when to stop. Maybe you grew up in a household of alcoholics and you're like, I am never touching that. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you, no, you should be drinking wine. Totally go drink wine. No, that is not my job to tell you to do something that you're having a conviction of. If you're having a conviction of it and you do it anyways, then it becomes a sin. But for me, I can have Jack and Coke. And then maybe a few hours later have a beer, and I'm fine. I'm sober-minded, and I'm showing self-control. Maybe there's people around me that are alcoholics and they're struggling with drinking. I'm not going to drink around you. Just because I can doesn't mean I will. I don't want to be a stumbling block for you. That is not helpful. So that's already how I was living my life, and Live Free just kind of helped me have more of an explanation for it. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. You don't know me, but whatever. So tattoos, same thing. Does the Bible explicitly tell us not to have tattoos? No, it doesn't. A lot of people are like, and this is my point, right? I've brought this up many times. Leviticus tells us tells the Israelites not to cut themselves for the dead and get tattoos like the pagans do. So we got to look at that in context. The Israelite people were called to be set apart as God's people. They were not to look like other people in their regions, right? Well, a lot of the pagan religions, they would cut themselves while they were mourning somebody that died. Or you would cut yourself and draw blood trying to invoke their gods. So if you read when they were stay with me, when Elijah, right? Elijah was talking to the prophets and the followers of Baal, and he's like, all right, well, tell your God to light this wood for a sacrifice, and hey, I'm going to dump water on mine, and I'm going to pray to my God to start this fire for his sacrifice. So it says they started cutting themselves to get their gods to pay attention. Elijah didn't have to do that. So that's kind of the context in which Leviticus is talking about, where it says, you are my people, you were called to live apart from those around you and not join in with what these sinners and pagans do. And they did have, like the Israelites did have a mark on their body that was different than everybody else. They were circumcised. So that's the context, right? The moral part of the law is what Christians are called to do. Just because we're set free by Jesus and Jesus came to complete the law, we still follow that we are not to kill people. We can't run around killing people, murdering people, because, oh, God set me free and Jesus died for my sins and I'm forgiven. Homie, that's not how that works. God also tells us to flee from sexual sin and immorality. That is a moral law that we are called to follow, right? But if you're going to throw Leviticus in there, okay, ladies, do you go to church when you're on your monthly? Because Leviticus says not to. It's like the laws of staying ceremonially clean. We don't live by that anymore. So, married Christians cannot have sex before or the night before going to church because you're ceremonially unclean. Okay? So we as Christians have the freedom in Jesus because he said, in me, nothing is unclean. Nothing is unclean. He's talking about the ceremonial cleanliness, okay? So, is tattoos, are we told as Christians in the Bible to not get tattoos? No. But does that mean that I can do whatever I want? No. Yes, I recently did get another tattoo. I added to my sleeve. It's beautiful. And we're going to continue to add to my sleeve. I had tattoos before I was a Christian. And I didn't care how they affected other people. I didn't care. I continue to get tattoos because right now I'm telling a story on my arm. Yes, I'm doing a Revelations sleeve. Because my God and my Father and my King and my Lord is coming back. So when people, especially non-followers, look at my arm and they're like, wow, that's really pretty. What's going on here? I'm like, let me tell you. So that gives me an opening to talk about God and talk about what he's done in my life. I'm planting that seed in somebody else. So culturally, tattoos aren't really a taboo for where I live or where I go to church. It's not really a big deal. And a lot of Christians around me, now I don't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? But like I said, I already had tattoos, so it's already on my skin in places I can't hide. So, I'm aware. But here's the other part. I live my life in a way that honors what is on my skin. I'm not perfect. Lord knows I have failed over this week. I have said things that I shouldn't have said. And that's where the grace comes in. But I live my life to follow Jesus. And I have it on my skin as a way to open up conversation with other people. Like when people think angels, they think, you know, like all the old paintings or the people in the white gowns with feathers or with wings. Or the little babies, the little fat babies with the little baby angel wings on them. That's what people think of angels. I have some wild things on my arm. I have the wheels upon wheels with the eyes all over and the eye in the center. It's an Orpheum angel. I have a seraphim, which is 6 wings with an eye in the center and eyes on every wing. My angels look wild, but these are biblically accurate angels. Then I'm adding an archangel on my arm that looks more like everybody's idea of angels. So it does. It opens up communication. It opens up, here's where I was. Here is where I'm at. This is who I am. Because I know who my God is. I know who my Father is. And because I know who He is, I know who I am and what my identity in Him is. So, with every decision in your life, we need to implement this kind of flow chart. right? And this is, again, what I stole from Live Free Nation and their podcast. What does the Bible say? And no, not everything is mentioned by name in the Bible. Well, the Bible doesn't tell me I can't watch porn. No, but you're supposed to flee from sexual immorality. Flee from it. Jesus says, if you even look at a woman with lust, you have already committed adultery in your heart with her. That seems pretty solid to me. Abortion. God doesn't say, hey, don't kill unborn babies. Doesn't say that, right? He doesn't say anything about abortion. But what does God say? I knew you as I knitted you together in your mother's womb. So God is at work knitting these babies together in their mother's wombs. What else does the Bible say? That children are a blessing from God. Do you take blessings and flush them down a toilet? Rip them up? No. So, some examples, okay? What does the Bible say? Second of all, do I have a personal conviction of it? If I feel like I cannot do something, then it would be a sin for me to do so, even if God doesn't say that it is a sin. Because I have a personal conviction of it, I shouldn't do it. Okay? How does it affect other Christians around me? Well, if I'm doing something that other Christians would be up in arms about or be upset about, maybe I don't do that either around that person, or where maybe I just don't do it at all, right? Maybe that's just what it is. And how does this affect my spiritual life? I love this flow chart, you guys. So, check out Live Free Nation. Watch their episode about alcohol, tattoos, and smoking weed, what they have to say. It's so good. I would even encourage you to start watching Live Free Nation. These guys are just amazing. And they're very biblically sound. They know what the Bible says, and they give you examples of here's where it says this, and they give you the verses, which I am bad at. I'm bad at giving you verses. So that's why I always say, double check what I'm telling you. Double check what I'm telling you. Don't take my word for it that that's what the Bible says. Go and double check. But they do give you the verses to back up what they're saying. And I can go back and double check that that's exactly what it says. But yeah, check out Live Free Nation. Implement this flow chart in your life with every decision. What does the Bible say? Do I have a personal conviction? How does it affect other people around me? And how does this affect my spiritual life? Highly recommend those things. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna be pulling up to my appointment here, so I will let you guys go. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope this helped somebody. I can't be the only one that likes pushing boundaries. I feel like that's a very human nature thing to do. Yeah, so with that, hold my beer, because I'm gonna go follow Jesus. Love you guys.